Chapter 15. "What's that?" Angelica asked herself as the phone on the stand at the side of her bed vibrated like it was going to explode. She was dreaming of saving the world by defusing a bomb. At the exact time she cut the wire, the red one, seeing as you were wondering, the phone went off. She thought in her half-dream, half-awake state that she had cut the wrong wire. She waited with bated breath for the world to end. Waking up bit by bit, Angelica slapped the front of her phone in the vague hope that she'd stop the alarm. But it didn't stop. It was a full 30 seconds before she had the wherewithal to pick up the phone and deal with it. It wasn't an alarm. It was a phone call. "Delia? What time is it?" Angelica asked a double question. Partly because she was confused, partly because she knew that asking questions gave her time to get her head together. Or at least they would with anyone but Delia. "Did you get any information from the cop?" "Huh?" "You know, the detective. Have you spoken to him?" "Briefly. What did you find out?" Almost nothing. Delia, what is this about?" "I want to know what's going on. I was at that party last night and someone died." "I know, I was there too. I spoke to Javi for a few seconds. He was busy. Someone died at that party." Delia paused. She had information. She had been told by a reliable source who the dead woman was from the party the night before. Delia had got up especially early to monitor the internet and social media to see if she could find any independent verification that the woman who she'd been informed she was. There were a few hints, but nothing concrete. She hoped Angelica would help her by confirming the detective she was close to had mentioned a name, but he hadn't. "Angelica, I've got information for you, but I need 2 things from you in return. Deal?" "I don't know what the 2 things are. How can I make a deal with you?" "All right, we'll play it your way," Delia replied. She had to have things her own way. Angelica was happy to let her do it most of the time. Delia was direct, demanding, and harmless. "So, what are these 2 things?" Angelica asked, feeling more awake by the second. "Firstly, I don't want you to talk to anyone else about this." "Delia, I don't know people. Who would I talk to?" "Good, I'll take that as a yes. And the second thing I want from you is to share with me everything you find out about this murder case. I know you have your ways of becoming involved with cases. If you get any information, and I mean any information, then I want to be the first person you call. Understood?" It sounded like Delia was really focused on this. Strange, as far as Angelica saw it. There had been a handful of murders in Javier over the past few years, and Delia seemed detached from all of them. It was like murder was a petty activity for the poor, and Delia's aristocratic upbringing forbade her from lowering herself to the activities of the lower classes. But this one had certainly piqued her interest. "Yes, I understand," Angelica replied, becoming more interested in the case herself. Maybe her dreams of solving murder cases instead of leaving it all to her brother was starting to become true. "I'm glad we could come to a deal. The woman who died at the party was socialite Georgina Natchez," Delia replied before pausing for effect. It was clearly lost on Angelica. "Am I supposed to know who that is?" Angelica asked by way of reply. "I kind of thought you might. Georgina is the heir to the vast fortune that has been amassed by the Natchez family over the last few 100 years, and she was the only child of the only child. The family line all funneled into her. When her father passes away, she would have become a multi-millionaire." "Well, do you think that money might be a factor in the murder?" Angelica asked, looking around her bedroom for a pen and paper. All she could focus on was the glitter scattered all across the floor. She wasn't sure that the Hoover could handle it. She dreaded the thought of getting on her hands and knees to sweep it all up. "Angelica, you really don't understand us, do you?" By us, Delia meant people with money. Old money. "No, best keep the response simple," Angelica decided. "We're not about money. Where the rest of you have to scramble around for a few euros here and there, we simply don't. Because we have money, we don't have to think about money. It's like political scandals in the UK. The ones involving Labour MPs are about money. The working classes will always strive for more cash, but the scandals involving Tory toffs involve something else, usually sex." So do you think it might be sex behind it? Angelica asked, taking in all the information Delia provided. Could be, Delia responded before ending the call. She always did it like that. Never a goodbye. Always leaving the other person with a phone to their face and a beeping noise in their ear.